Good day, my loves. Good day. I hope you are well. Me, my baby Fro, and my baby. Say hey, Lucky Buck. Say hey. He's looking for his next prey. It could either be a leaf or a bird. We don't know. I haven't seen any lizards lately, so I don't know. Ooh, hold on, let me get it set back up. Oh, let me scoot over. Hey guys, I hope you are well. Spiritually Savage here, sending you lots of love, peace of mind, and just joy in your heart, really. Those three things are just basic. And sometimes, if you don't have people to send you love, you have to give it to yourself. And that's the journey of spiritual awakening, right? I really do. I hope you guys are doing well, taking care of yourself, and just trusting the process. Trusting that everything that you're going through is beneficial for you. And I say that, so, okay, side note, and to keep it very transparent, I tried to record a video about this same thing like 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, and it was still during the Mercury retrograde, which I've never had a problem with a Mercury retrograde. I can talk. I can talk your head off and not stumble over my words and not lose focus. And even if I do lose focus, because I got that squirrel mentality, I can always bring it back around, right? But when I was trying to record this video 2-3 days ago, yeah, I'm gonna post those two videos because it was hilarious. And I've seen myself go through those motions before, like, because I do, they tried to label me at ADHD and all kinds of stuff when I was a kid, but my grades were good, so they couldn't do that. They tried to label me. They do that a lot. It's systematic. Anywho, that's a whole nother ball game. I don't have my I love you cup today. I can't find it for some reason, but I do have my Godiva cup. So, yeah, there's that. Anywho, what I wanted to say, and this should be quick, what I wanted to talk about was trusting the process and being easy with yourself. We are our worst critic, and I know you've heard that at some point in time in your life, and you may not have understood, or overstood what it means. There is a critical voice inside your head that demeans you, that berates you, that says mean things to you, okay? That is not your voice. I know it may seem weird because it's coming from inside your head, but that's not your voice. That's not your voice at all. Why? Think about it, logically speaking. Why would you, who you love yourself, say mean things about you? And so when I say trust the process, I mean trust everything that you're going through. Listen, for 340 something videos, the theme was, I'm healing, y'all. I'm healed, y'all. I'm moving forward, y'all. I don't have, I worked out them issues. I worked out that trauma. And then next thing you know, a week later, I'd be like, what's happening? Okay? It's because I didn't have a realistic expectation of how long it would take me to heal. And growing up, I used to be like, okay, if you was with a guy for like 6 months, then it's going to take you half that time to get over him, and that was my mentality. And that's how I went into my spiritual journey and healing was, okay, I've been dealing with this for such and such, and okay, I got the information now, so now let's put it into practice. And it doesn't go that way. And so I was actually writing in my journal today or this morning, and I had to see how far I have come since I began this journey. And I've come a long way because I've accepted the process. Even though there's parts of the process that I don't like. I don't like it. I don't. When you recognize and realize, enter over and understand why you eat the way you eat, why you have certain addictions, why you've not been supported your whole life, or why you haven't found the man or the woman of your dreams, or why your kids are misbehaving, or why you got fired from it. When you find out the spiritual reason, and that's what I say, the real reason. When I say real, I mean spiritual, because we're on this plane and it's 3D, but it's not everything, and it's only 1% of what we deal with. The rest of what we deal with is spiritual. It's unseen. It's energy. It's vibration. Okay. And so when you realize all that, you like, oh, I'm not doing that no more. Oh, I'm not fooling with them no more. But you forget that for so many years you've been conditioned to do just that. So even though your mind is saying, no, I don't want to do this, and no, I'm not doing that, and I've learned and I'm learning, and all that stuff, you will find yourself still acting out those behaviors. And I don't like it, particularly because I feel I'm one that when you know better, you do better. That is the case in most instances, except when you're dealing with energetic curses, when you're dealing with generational curses, when you're dealing with addictions. You have to take a different stance with it. And mainly it's healing yourself and the trauma. So when I started doing a meditation, and you'll see in the other video, I was doing a Sacral Chakra meditation. And Sacral Chakra has to deal with addictions, right? Also has to deal with a lot of other things. So 9 times out of 10, when you're struggling with something in your life, your body and what's going on with you can tell you where the problem is or where the blockages is, okay? And so that's what I'm dealing with now. But there's parts of this journey that I do not like, I do not particularly care about, because it doesn't make me feel my best self, right? And this, when you're feeling this part, when you're feeling not your best self, and that little voice tries to creep in and tell you you're lazy, or you'll never amount to anything, oh, you're just like your mother, you're just like your father, or you're too slow, or your handicap or your disabilities will not allow you to live a full and complete life, or whatever that little negative voice tries to tell you, right? It's untrue. And there is another voice that is speaking. It may not be loud. Mine is loud now because I've been working on her. I've been working on myself. So mine is loud. So today, when I went against myself again, dealing with an addiction, and it doesn't matter. I keep telling y'all, it doesn't matter if it's a shopping addiction and you told yourself, oh, I'm going to save this amount of money for this month and I'm not going to spend no extra money. And you go out and you buy that bomb outfit that you saw and it's on sale. And so you just had to get it. It doesn't matter what addiction it is. But the fact that if you made a promise to yourself to do better, because you know better, and then you go against yourself. It could be, I'm not going to eat after 6 o'clock. It could be, I'm no longer going to accept his phone calls because he doesn't treat me right. And then you accept the phone call because he said he was sorry and he wanted to take you somewhere. Whatever it could be. When you go against yourself, it's like those old triggers or those old programmings try to come up and creep in and try to compound what you're feeling by telling you the negative things, by telling you, yeah, I told you was this, or yeah, I told you was that, yeah, you're just like your mama, or whatever it may be. But when that happened today to me, this is where I saw my growth, and where I was like, okay, because I was about to do it to myself. I heard the voice coming up because I felt the feeling, and I heard the voice about to say something, but then my higher self was like, trust the process. And it said it twice, trust the process. And so because that feeling was coming up that I didn't like this part of the process, and normally I would act it out by allowing the old programming in my head to berate me and to criticize me and to talk down to me. That part didn't happen. So then my body, my mind, my soul had to figure out another way. And so it was like, okay, I'm trusting the process. So then the dialogue turned to something different. And it turned to, what was you just about to feel? And why was that about to pop into your head? It's because I don't like feeling less than my optimal self. And you're talking to someone with an A-type personality that accomplished everything that she wanted to by the time that she was 30, and then that's when everything fell apart. There was nothing that I wanted to do that I had dreams of doing that I did not accomplish. Traveling the world, buying my first house, going and graduating from college 2 times, those were the things that I strove for back then, but that's not what I'm striving for now. My whole makeup has changed. My whole outlook, perception, and perspective has changed. And so I no longer try to obtain those things before. Like that, those are not my goals. My goals right now are to heal myself. And what healing looks like to me is that my mind is connected to my heart. My heart is connected to my all of my chakras. Let me just say that. It's my mind, my spirit, my physical, and my mental and my emotional state are all in alignment. That is what I'm striving for. And you'll know that. That is where peace comes in, because my mind is not arguing with my soul, because they're in alignment. And what that looks like is that your mind is saying, go ahead and eat that piece of cake. But your soul is like, no, we need to eat clean. And this is a real life situation, but I ate the cake. This was a while ago. This is nothing recent, so don't judge me. But just to put it in real life perspective for you, for what it may look like, is your mind is saying, go ahead and eat that piece of cake. You ain't had no cake in a long time. You deserve that cake. It can be negative and positive reinforcement. A positive can be a negative reinforcement. And what I'm talking about now is because I know that I need to eat clean, and my body has told me over the years that I need to eat clean. And I'm not saying to deprive yourself of treats or desserts, but when you're new to the journey and when you're new to cleaning out your body, that is the last thing you want to do until you have built that foundation, because that's a slippery slope, right? And I knew that, I understood that, but I still ate the cake anyway. I did ask permission, but I ate the cake. I did not do it without asking permission, though, because I know what my body does when I go against it, okay? Your body is an entity all in itself. Your body is a sentient being. Look about it as Avatar. In the movie Avatar, his consciousness was put into the Avatarian body, right? But the Avatarian body had things that his mind didn't even know, like the tail that could tap into the tree or the ground, or that, they can connect with their. He didn't know that, but the body knew that that's what it could do. Think about your body that way. So when your body is going through pains and illnesses, it's trying to tell you something. It's actually speaking to you. And so that is my goal. That is my goal. I want to heal. And I do know, enter over, and understand that anybody who is addicted to anything on this plane and is trying to heal themselves and to stop the addiction, whatever it may be, there's no judgment here, okay? And is having a difficult time doing it, it's because it is attached to a trauma that has not been healed. And in the first 2 videos that I recorded, and I know at some point I'm going to upload them, but I was all over the place. I'm talking about my brain was scattered. I was like, squirrel, 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 squirrel. Like there was a million squirrels everywhere in those 2 videos. And I had to laugh at myself and realize, okay, what is so different about this Mercury retrograde? Because how I'm flowing right now, y'all, I was not flowing in them last 2 videos, and it was hilarious. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I just had to laugh at myself. But anywho, yeah. So if you're anything like me and you've watched any of my videos, you'll see that I've always put a time on healing, or a time on when I wanted to achieve something. And that works when it's materialistic goals. When you say, okay, I want to finish college by this time, or I want to do this by this time. Yeah, everything is not in your control, but you do have some sort of control over those things, and you can make them happen within them time frames. But when you're on your spiritual journey and you're dealing with spirit, and you're dealing with God, and you're dealing with your ancestors and your spiritual guides and the ascended masters, there is no concept of time. Time is literally an illusion, because we have time down here. They do not have time in the universe. There is no such thing, right? And I had to come to grips with that. Even though I've read that like years ago, I still it didn't sit into my spirit for me to enter over and understand it until just recently. And so this video is really for you to just trust the process, guys. Even the parts that we don't like, that make us feel uncomfortable, that make us want to run, that make us want to, do something different or do something destructive or do something creative. 9 times out of 10, I mean, you can turn your pain into art. You really can. That is a thing. Um, but trust the process and give yourself time and space to heal and grow. Healing is not a sprint, it's a marathon, just like your spiritual journey. And take it from one that been sprinting my whole life, and I thought I could sprint through this too. Not consciously thinking that I'm sprinting through it, but subconsciously I was trying to sprint through it because I didn't like the uncomfortable parts, the parts that made me feel outside of myself, the parts that made me feel that I was out of control. And when you are enabled at the moment, due to unforeseen circumstances, to take care of yourself in whatever way that means to you, it will make you feel so vulnerable. It will make you feel like you are at the mercy of the people that you are asking for help or who are helping you, right? And sometimes, depending on what spirits are in those bodies, you may be dealing with one that is righteous, or you may be dealing with one that has held grudge against you that you had not even known. And so if that is the case, it will show in their behavior, because what they want you to do is they want you to grovel, they want you to beg, they want you to feel subservient to them. And I had to say something to somebody like, you want me to walk around on tiptoes, and I'm not going to do that. And they revealed themselves to me about how they felt by addressing someone else when they was like, oh, you playing loud music like you pay bills. And that's funny because I play loud music, and everybody knows that at the moment I cannot pay a bill with physical cash, right? And so I laughed because I understood and overstood where that comment came from. But the thing about it, and that was a form of gaslighting, let me let you know that, right? And so the thing about it is that I do know that I am who I am, whether I have monetary support or not. Okay, so because I am unable to pay for things at this moment, it's not going to diminish my personality. And that's what they want. They want you to feel ashamed, they want you to feel less than, they want you to cower in a corner and not be seen and not be heard and not be visible. They want you to disappear. So when people gaslight you like that, whether they do it directly or indirectly, it's because of their spirit. It's not because of the avatar that you're looking at or the avatar that you grew up with or the avatar that you so love. It's not that. It's the spirit that you are threatening that is within them. And if the people that you are dealing with are not woke, then they don't understand, overstand, or understand everything. So it's not like you can come at them from a spiritual level and be like, that spirit in your body is this, that, and the third. And then it's also like you can't come at them like 3D, like, yo, you a devil and da-da-da-da, because they don't even know what's going on. So you have to find the medium ground, and that's what I'm discovering now. Bars, okay? And part of that is minding my own business and learning and understanding, overstanding, which is what I just learned over the past weekend, which I just was confirmed after watching a guru, that any and everything that is living and breathing on this plane has karma. They incarnated here for a reason, in which within any entity, it could be a human being, it could be an animal, it could be an insect, it could be a crustacean, it could be anything, right? But they incarnated here for a reason. And since they are all connected with us and we are all connected together, symbiotic, it seems like, everything and everyone has karma. I didn't understand that at all, right? And then I seen this shaman that's he was a monk, actually. He was a Buddhist. He was a Buddhist. I've been watching this Buddhist lately. And he was talking about how we can take on the karma of animals. And I'm thinking, okay, how is that possible? Now, I know we can take on their fear. Like if an animal was killed and we're eating the meat, then, you know, the heightened hormones in the meat when they were killed, that fear, that fight or flight is in the meat, right? And so when we ingest it, we absorb that as well. But what I didn't realize is he brought it to crustaceans and fish. He said the the karma for the fish is mercury. And so when we eat the fish, we take on part of its karma. And I was like, oh, I was so blown away. A lot of you know that I struggle with minding my own business, especially when I see somebody hurting or animals being mistreated and things of that nature. And I've posted videos about the dogs that I live with and the treatment that they receive. And I used to ask myself and question myself. And I asked the dogs too, like, what did you do? What did you do to deserve people like this? Like, what did you do? What happened? What happened? And so watching this Buddhist monk talk about the karma of the fish, I realized that everything and everybody has karma. The dogs have karma, people have karma, insects have karma, right? And so it gave me a better understanding on how not to intervene in other people's karma, in other beings' karma. And it does something to my heart, though. It does something to my heart. So I don't know if I could just stand by and watch an animal or somebody die or get killed. I don't know. I don't know if I have the stomach for that, you know, because my first instinct is to help, is to assist. But I also do not want to absorb people's karma when I know not what they have done. You feel what I'm saying? I do not want to get in between karma and the people karma who it belongs to. And I did that, and I've done it my whole life, okay? And I've done it for people who would not lift a finger to help me on their own. They feel no loyalty towards me. So can you see how that drained my energy? When you're giving into vessels that don't pour back into you, right? So as you go on this journey, I need you to understand, overstand, and understand that it is not a sprint, and it's not going to happen in 2 months. It's not going to happen in 3 months. It's not going to happen in a year. For 3 years, y'all, and you can look back at my first video, but look at the dates in the description, because even though I started posting 11 months ago, I've been recording for years. Okay, I still have some that I haven't even posted. So, but I gotta heat my daggone tea back up. But as you go on this journey, I need you to know that it's not gonna happen overnight. And you are going on the journey. Your friend can't go with you. Your family can't go with you. And sometimes your man or your woman can't go with you. I'm sorry to say that. And sometimes your kids can't go with you, depending on where they're at. And so that's where I'm at right now, right? I am enjoying the journey and everything that comes along with it. Everything. A year or two, I couldn't say that. And if I said it, I was lying, because I didn't enjoy it, and I know I never said that. I respect the journey and all parts of it. I know that every part of it is a lesson, so I appreciate it, but I didn't love it. And actually right now, I am enjoying the journey, even the parts that are challenging, because on one side, it lets me see how far I've grown, right? On how I respond internally, how I react externally, and how I move forward past that. Am I going to let it linger? Am I going to bring it along with me to the next day? Am I going to mull over it and think about what I could have said, what they should have said, and all kinds of stuff? Am I going to do that? And I don't do that. I may do it for the first, 20 minutes or so, but I let it go. I let it go. Because that happened back then. And I look every day as if something new is going to happen. I used to carry fear with me every day because I was being gaslit and, scapegoated. I am the scapegoat in my narcissistic dynamic family, okay? And I mean, when I say I'm the scapegoat for everybody. Everybody in the family problems because of me. That's unrealistic. How can everybody? I'm talking about from the sisters to the brothers to the mother to the father and to the children of the siblings. Like, how can one person be your end all to be all for a problem? That's when you realize you're being scapegoat. Because the mama and the daddy should come first, right? That's where it started from. I didn't give birth to y'all. That's when I knew something was going on. And I used to be like, the sister and Carrie, what is happening? Like, I knew I didn't deserve nothing. So when I bumped into spirituality and when spirituality bumped into me and knocked me over, I bumped into spirituality. But everything has opposite something reaction. So when I bumped into it, because I bumped into it, it bumped back hard. It bumped back hard. But I needed it, and I so appreciate it, though. I really do. I really do. I really do. So on this day, I want you to take it easy. I know you may hear a voice in your head telling, because that's what I was battling with, y'all. Because that's been my whole life. My whole life, I feel like I've just been behind, like I've just been delayed, like I'm just late to the party. And when you feel that feeling, it catapults you to do something in haste. And so I was battling with that too, because sitting still does not allow you to do things in haste. Sitting still means you're getting all the information from all four corners before you even make a judgment. And so I'm sitting still, getting all the pieces of the puzzle before I make a decision. Now, certain decisions have already been made, but it's like, okay, moving forward in my life, and I want to grow, and I want to be my highest person. I want to be my highest self. I want to float above the drama. I want to float above chaos. I want to float above death. And I say that because I have a different understanding. If you know me, I've always had a hate relationship with death. But now I have a love-hate relationship with it. Not so much as hate, because I know about it now. And I know that we chose to come here, and we choose when to leave. Now, there are some spirits that don't choose when to leave, and they leave too early. And that's a whole nother story. But I chose my parents. I chose my siblings. I chose my circumstances. I chose this particular journey so it would be more effective for me to find my higher self and my spiritual self, and to be connected to God in a different way than how I was raised, okay? So I know all that, and I've come to accept that, which allows me not to look at anybody with any hate or malice or just anger, because I chose you in my life. Would I have liked a different set of circumstances? Of course. Who would not? I don't care who it is. They would choose a different circumstance. Hindsight 2020. But this was the most effective for me to find this person that sits here before you now. Naked. In all ways. Literally. Vulnerable. Vulnerable. And that's what I want to come across, is my vulnerability, to let other people know that we all struggle with the same thing. It may look different, it may feel different, but at the same thing, it's a struggle, and it's something that you need to learn a lesson from. And there are lessons that I've learned that I would love to teach everybody, so they wouldn't even have to go through that hardship. That's why I love talking to people. That's why I love talking, because you learn from other people. Yes, we learn more from experiences, but when you are unable to get out there and experience, then you learn from your surroundings, okay? Same thing. And so now I realize and understand why God has me sitting still in one spot, because if I can't handle myself, efficiently, effectively, and with emotional intelligence with the people that I grew up with and the people that I was raised with, then how am I expected to handle that out in the world? It's not going to be easier. You think it'll be easier because that's what I thought, because it's people that you don't know. But if you can do it with the people that you know, you can do it with anybody. And that is the lesson for the day. Ashe Mazel Tov, Namaste.